now. We'll do a bit of scrub bashing through here.
Nick's trying to get a 50-metre, 42-wheeler road train through.
But I've just got 3 trailers on. It's not really designed for 3 trailers through this track.
You know, we could just sink to the arse in one of these little low pockets here, but so far so good. We've only got like 100, 200 yards to go. It's more than halfway through.
There's a devil in the dirt with his garden underground. Well, Bella's lights out already. She's having a snooze ready for a big trip.
To the west, Steve Graham is on the move. Enjoying life while the going's good.
Heading back east with a big load on. Got near 100 tonne hanging off the end of the steering wheel.
After a frustrating wet season, Steve is getting ready to drive eastwards on the Great Central Road for the first time this year.
All year I've been playing games with this weather, going across the Nullarbor, down the bottom, finding right out here to go across the middle. The downside is, I know that there's going to be some drama there.
A recent hot spell has turned conditions on their head, transforming the washed-out track he battled through only weeks ago to a dust bowl.
There is some soft sand, and I'm just going to sink out of sight in it. There's one real mongrel patch out there that I'd like to see some rain on.
With a rough ride guaranteed, Steve will have his work cut out, delivering this load in one piece.
I've got those big long pieces of steel going up there and they were rocking up and down and they'd worn through the strap. That may happen again.
Day 2 of Steve's eastbound run, and he wants to know what lies in store.
All other roads are shown as left and now open to all traffic.
That's good news. The roads are open. The bad news is it hasn't been graded. And it's about, I don't know, 37, 38 degrees here. That bit of road that I'm worried about over there, it'll be gutless, hot, dry sand by the time I get there tomorrow afternoon. Can't scull out the bottle all the time. You're a dope, now you'll be spewing. You want a drink or what?
Time to drink up before the big dry.
Come on, this is a desert.
On the bitumen, it's a smooth run, despite the distractions.
We've got a few hitchhikers in, a few flies. The little buggers drive you mad when you're trying to drive and they crawl under your sunglasses. You want to come trucking out here, you've got to get used to flies and mosquitoes and sandflies and spiders and snakes. You don't have to worry too much about people out here. Nearly 1,200 kilometres under my belt since I left last night. So that sets me up for a good kick-off in the morning to cross the desert. I was laying awake thinking about that bog hole. Not looking forward to it at all. Got 1,200 kilometres of dirt I want to get across. I want to do 800 today. Let's give it a crack. Look at that rolling cloud over there.
And on the ground, another concern.
lot of camel tracks on the road. I've got to keep my eyes open here. It's a nice cool day, so they'll possibly keep moving around all day, and then you get past a clump of trees like this and they leap out. They're all over the road.
First introduced by Afghan traders, over 300,000 feral camels roam freely through the outback. When temperatures climb, they go hunting for water, often damaging crops, water holes and trucks.
Head-ear camel's no good. Usually because their body's high up, you get your air cleaners knocked off, or you get seriously, really, really bad damage, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth. So I don't want to hit them. I've got my eyes peeled.
But over 30 half-ton wild animals aren't too hard to spot.
Bloody camels on the road. We've got to watch these creatures. They'll go any which way. And I hope the idiots don't settle down for a big run down the road. Come on, children, get off the road. Girls. That was quite a good, healthy-looking mob. There should be. The country's looking beautiful. They're living the dream life in the dream desert. A bit over 700 kilometres on the dirt. I'm happy with that. Well, it's another day. Things are holding up all right, it's good.
Steve's made it to his first drop-off, a roadside handover to a mechanic from a nearby community.
I'll sort him out, I'll unload his bit of stuff here, and then I can get on with the rest of my day.
A handful of packages are no trouble, but the next part of the delivery could be.
We're going to pull these two tyres off.
2 super-sized truck tyres.
We'll just pull it back this way a bit, and then we'll stand it up.
And one is on the rim, weighing in at over 150 kilograms.
What about if I drop this one on there and then just drop that one on? Yeah.
Enough to cause serious damage to a shoulder Steve injured not long ago.
Yeah, I don't want to break anything into you.
And if it hits the ground,
Put it on that one.
there's no way to lift it back up.
You right, mate? You're going to have it any second now. You've got it. I'll just work it across. Just give me a minute. And you'll have to be in charge of flipping it and all that. Don't even try and hold it, mate. Just flip it over so it drops on that one. You right? Well done, mate. Well done.
Safely delivered, with no damage. Almost.
It's not the best way to start the day. It's not good for my back. But... Anyway, that's that delivery done. Come on, we got to go to work. We got to go to work, dog.
And today, Steve will earn every dollar. He's closing in on the sandy track that's been playing on his mind for 2,000 kilometres.
You can't help but notice as we get further out, we're getting towards Docker River now, the road is deteriorating. Got my tyres let down, but still doing damage to the gear and the freight that you can't see. When I hit that border, if it's the same as what it was before, there is no road. It's no man's land. The road's been turned into a riverbed.
To make it across, 53 metres of truck and trailer must be ready for a brutal ride.
I better go and see, make sure that everything's nailed down properly on this load before I throw it at this lot up here. There's been no rain out here where I need it, so I reckon it's going to be really dry, gutless, pinned down like that.
To power through it, Steve will need every one of his 62 tyres.
Hopefully that's fixed the problem. You put a bit of air in and get your tyre moving. Plugs often seal themselves as the tyre moves around and builds up a bit of heat. They often don't too.
Time for battle. Steve's got an arsenal of weapons to fight the sand. Weapon 1, his cross locks.
For this soft mongrel stuff up here, I'll engage my cross lock in the back axle. That way I've still got plenty of steering, but it gives me a lot better traction.
Steve's cross locks turn his truck into a four-wheel drive. Weapon 2, tyre pressure.
We have that back diff engaged, and I'll drop my tyres right down, and then I'll lock everything up to hit the soft sand.
Weapon 3, and the most important, momentum.
If I can get up enough speed, I might roll through it. I need to see my line and I need to see my track.
But then, something he didn't want to see.
Come on, get out of my way.
Other road users.
Get going. God, I can't stop. These idiots are in my way.
Steve's forced to slow down.
Yeah, I'm going to punch whoever's there fair in the nose. Shit, we're losing traction here. Big time. Oh, I don't like it. Come on, old truck. Come on, old truck. You can do it. Gee, I might get lucky. I might get lucky. Yep, I'm going to do it. Well, there you go. Thank goodness for that. That is a huge, huge relief. I've been worried about that ever since I left home. I was damn sure I'd be stuck in there. You can't believe how relieved I am. Well, good truck, good job. I'm not in Alice, but I reckon I'll get there now.
It's the end of another epic journey that's pushed a legend to his limits. A reminder of what life is all about in the world of outback trucking.
When you have a good run like this one, it revitalises you. And you keep yourself pretty grounded out here. When you're out in the desert, in the big picture, you're pretty bloody insignificant. You might think you're a tough truckie, but you're not much out there at all.
In his scrap metal yard in Alice Springs, Russell Crusher McDonough is supervising last-minute repairs.
What we've done, we've just fitted a new hose on the door on both sides of this one ram.
Before his newest piece of machinery faces its first serious money-making test.
We're going to be about 500 kilometres away, so it's easier to sort of get them done now than have to travel back. It's a 1,000-kilometre round trip to pick up a hose.
Russell found this metal-munching monster in India and decided he had to have it.
Took me 12 months, 2 trips to India, untold emails and debates and battles with customs, battles with quarantine, battles with the import people. But finally we got it here.
What started out as a bargain $50,000 buy blew out to a $200,000 investment after shipping and repairs. Now, after nearly a year of fixing, it's ready to test in his yard. This crusher is faster than Russell's previous machine, capable of crunching more than 20 tonnes of metal an hour. Russell's ready to see if his new toy can pay its way.
We're just getting ready to head out on this trip.
The scrap metal price is rising again after 2 years in the doldrums. If the new crusher is as fast as Russell hopes, he could be in the money.
Well, I'm quite happy with the way this thing's working out. I just look forward to tackling this pile.
But it's a huge job to eliminate a historic eyesore in an otherwise stunning outback landscape. Russell's tackled the metal mountain before, making crushing trips out here for the past 5 years.
We attempted to do this mountain with my old machine and our men, but it just was too labour intensive and no production.
This time, he hopes to make a serious dent in the pile. But first, he and his 30-year-old truck have to haul the whole operation to the site.
I love driving this truck.
A day's drive through the intense heat of Central Australia. A place where the temperature often exceeds 50 degrees. An hour into the journey, Russell stops to check everything is travelling well. A telltale trail of fluid soon lets him know it isn't. It's fuel leaking from a tank on the new crusher.
We've got a clear plastic tube on here which tells me the amount of fuel in this 1,000-litre tank. It came off at the top just with the heat and fell down. It's that far back I couldn't see it.
Back on the highway, the heat is sweltering, testing man and machine.
Leaving in the heat of the day is not the cleverest thing to do. It's not about getting there quickly, it's just about getting there. Still remember the old fairy book tale about the tortoise and the hare. The old turtle got there first in the end, but that's because he just kept at it.
But the tortoise didn't have to worry about a dodgy radiator and a 30-year-old engine overheating.
And I can smell coolant. And I can smell coolant. I can see that. It got warm and just spat a bit out of the overflow. But it's just consistently sitting on 100 there. Now it might be something a bit more serious, so I just pull up and have a look. I've started slowing down. It hasn't cooled down yet.
It's worse than Russell expected. The radiator's nearly dry, the old engine close to seizing.
This really is a serious problem, so I'm just gonna, deal with it.
It needs water in a hurry. He can't wait for the radiator to cool down. It's cold water into a hot radiator.
Starting to swallow water now without spitting it back out.
At last, the temperature gauge is starting to drop. It looks like he's finally got things under control. The temperature is back down to where it should be. Russell's found the culprit.
The radiator cap rusted out and busted apart. So it's just pumped all the water out.
After all the repair work, the engine's cool. And it's Russell who's overheating.
All right, well, looks like it might be all right. But I'll give it a run up the road now and just see how it goes.
Back on the road, gauges are warning him once again.
80's like a nice temperature, 100 is starting to get warm, 110 is too much.
The engine temperature is on the rise.
It's just working hard coming through these hills, so the temperature's back up again, but that's because it's working. Got about 90, 95. It's not exactly cool outside, but we're just about to crest this hill. It all changes. That's it, going uphill, hard work, going downhill, not so bad.
But after a long, sweaty day, at last the engine's running cool and the heat is out of the sun. Russell will have a night in the desert to help him chill out.
Hi mate, good to see you.
The Resort Waste Services Manager, Mark Standing, is overseeing the massive clean-up.
If we're in a town, you know, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, whatever, this stuff would be worth a fortune. You'd make a mint out of it. But because of the transport costs, we can't just take it 450 k's, you know what I mean? And that's only to Alice. Then Alice would have to ship it down to Adelaide or over to Sydney or whatever.
The question now is, will Russell's imported crusher be up to the job?
Well, I don't know. The last time I saw that new machine, it was somewhat of a mess. So I haven't actually seen it operating, but I've heard that it is a very good machine.
But Russell's not happy with what he's found.
I'm here to do with this scrap metal, and all there is dirt pushed up everywhere. Dirt, trees.
A bulldozer has pushed a pile into a smaller area, mixing the metal with sand.
We sell steel, not dirt. It completely blows out the window what I had in my head that I was going to do. I was intent on just digging a little track into a mountain, and then I would have been surrounded on 3 sides.
Piling on the pressure, Russell's mate Buddy from Adelaide is waiting to cart the crushed cubes of scrap away. His time is money.
The main priority is to actually start seriously producing some product that I can load onto this truck.
Time to get to work.
There's going to be a fair bit of this mucking around, just moving small stuff out of the way so I can get closer to the bigger, more concentrated piles.
The new crusher is just what Russell hoped it would be. Stronger and faster than the last one.
10 bales done so far. Try and get him a couple of loads ready. Take advantage of the fact that he's already here.
Suddenly, hydraulic fluids bleeding from the loading arm. The operation grinds to a halt.
So the fittings might have come loose, so just got to tighten it up, hopefully.
It's the new crusher's first big test, but after a promising start, this is a worrying fail.
Yeah, I can tell when he starts walking around like this that he's getting impatient, right? So I've got to get this stuff baled and onto his truck. The last thing I want to see is him driving out of here empty and cranky.
My birthday's in November. I should be unloaded by then.
He needs a quick fix for his $200,000 metal muncher.
All good now.
With more lost time and with Buddy getting impatient,
Hurry up, I want to get loaded.
Russell needs this operation to go at double speed. Time for the big guns. With a borrowed bulldozer, he carves out a path to the middle of the mountain, where the crusher can get stuck into the serious stuff.
There's room enough for me to get in, and then there's room enough for Buddy to back in, and as I make the bales, I can throw them straight on him.
At last, Russell's conquering the mountain.
Now I've got that first trailer done. I've got this hole here. I'm home and hosed. Everything's going good. This pile's here. I've got it beat.
Thanks to Russell and his crusher, a small part of a famous piece of Australia will be restored to its original and beautiful state.
Gonna get wet here.
After a hair-raising 5-day battle taking on tropical thunderstorms, bashing along waterlogged dirt tracks and digging their way out of hopeless bogs,
Isn't it just the worst?
Nick and Joe are in the wilderness at the top of Western Australia. They've made deliveries to the remote camping area of Honeymoon Bay. Now they have to get back home again, and the return journey is proving just as treacherous.
Roads bendy as all hell, big trees and rocks.
Joe's scouting up ahead in the loader, while Nick nurses the truck along a track barely fit for a tractor.
You getting traction? You got it. Yeah, the bloody weather's starting to get a little bit cloudy looking. Today it's hazy white and the clouds are starting to build up.
The wet season rains are all around. It won't take much to cut the road they're on, the only road out.
It'll start sort of closing in now. You'll get a couple of storms every day and they'll just get bigger and bigger, and some days you'll get just a steady flow of rain all day, and then after that the road's buggered. You can't get a truck in here at all or out. Most of the time you can get it in, but then can't get back out. And then it's $10,000, $20,000 to barge your truck out of here.
They're tracking back to where they dropped a trailer earlier to reassemble the road train.
Even in the thunderstorm brewing in the distance, you don't wait till it starts raining to collect dry firewood for the night.
But before they leave the area, they have an important rescue mission. They're heading to an ex-World War II airfield and the remains of a warplane that crash-landed there 70 years ago.
The crew were flying on a mission up to Columbaroo. What happened is they came into land, and as they touched down, the nose wheel collapsed and it just destroyed the front of the aircraft.
The plane, an American-made B-25 bomber, never flew again. Today, Adelaide aviation enthusiasts Peter Smythe and Ian Lamb want this piece of war history preserved. They've hired Nick and Joe to truck the bomber out of its outback grave.
You know, I've got my doubts. I don't know if they can do it or not. It's a logistic nightmare. It really is.
Well, I've never actually carted an old bloody wrecked aircraft before, and it's in pretty bad shape by the look of it, so it'll be interesting to see how it actually travels. They don't want to damage it any more than it already is. So hopefully we'll be able to pull it out of the scrub here reasonably easy. It's half buried in the sand and in between bloody trees and all sorts of crap.
It'll be interesting to see when we get it here just what we do get back. From the photos we've seen, it looks like the main sections are there. The wings, the actual nose, the cockpit area, the bomb bay area, and then the rear fuselage.
I'm not sure what this is part of.
But I don't know if that's part of this or part of that one. You've got the photos for it, haven't you?
Yeah, in the truck.
In that particular area, there is another aircraft fairly similar. So we just hope we get the right parts, not half of one aircraft and half of another.
For Nick and Joe, it's a mammoth jigsaw puzzle, one they can't get wrong.
If we take the wrong bits, they've only got permission to take this Dutch bloody aircraft. And if that's not part of it, I could be bloody done for stealing, or it is heritage listed or something like that. I'll get into trouble for taking bits that I haven't got permits for. Looking pretty bloody savage out there. That storm's really rolling in there. Might even rain Columbaroo here.
They need to get it loaded quickly.
Well, we sort of don't know what parts belong to what plane.
They only have permission to remove the B-25, not any of the other World War II relics.
Do we take that then?
Working only from photos, they have to pick the right pieces from a graveyard of plane wrecks.
God, that looks like too big a wing for that.
The plane parts are light aluminium.
It's pretty flimsy, really.
Loading them without doing more damage will require all of Nick and Joe's skill.
It's fragile, it's delicate, and these guys say they can do it, and if they can, I'll tell you what, then they're bloody good.
Yeah.
First time lifting something like this, way out in the middle of flaming nowhere, digging down the scrub. Pretty excited, actually.
Not super heavy, which is a good thing. Just mind that tree. So far, so good. If they all come out like that, it'll be all right.
That's it.
It's not too bad. See that bit of a branch there? Yeah, Geordie. It's a native burrowing frog. Poor little fellow, we've taken his home away. Be free, make a new home.
Pieces of the plane are slowly coming together.
Beautiful. Pretty good, really.
Until it's time to move the cockpit. After 70 years, a tree has grown up through it. There are plans to restore the plane. Too much force here could tear a piece of war history apart.
It's not too bad, actually. I mean, all things considering, it's pretty well in one piece. This piece is physically bigger, but it's not full of sand and it's really well reinforced, so it's not really moving at all, which is nice.
Next challenge, getting the fragile cockpit onto the truck without damage.
Yeah, it's not exactly going to be the nicest thing in the bloody cart, I don't think. Easy to get hooked up and the bloody aluminium's going to be going to rattle around in the breeze and corrugations and shit. I'm going to try to see if I can place it all together like it was made on the trailer. Rightio, see how we go. You out there?
Stop!
They're starting to come together. I might put it at home in the paddock. I have a habit of collecting flaming hole stuff.
Just trying to get some tyres in the right spots.
It's about the size I thought. It's just a little bit more bulkier than I thought.
The loading has taken a lot longer than expected.
A bit more cloud around anyway.
They need to get going to beat the storms. But then this. A problem with the loading ramp hydraulics.
And mongrel thing.
Another frustrating hold-up. New fluid is needed.
But of course, it would happen in the hottest part of the day, right as we're just about finished and you're just about ready to get excited because you're just about on the road. Just enough time to beat the afternoon storm that's coming in.
The trailer ramps are thick steel, too heavy for a person to lift.
If we get stuck on the way out and we have to unhook to get the loader up to pull ourselves to a bog again, which is likely because we had to on the way in, then it just makes your day harder, you know.
It's a delay they can't afford.
Glad to have that all loaded and done. And now the fun part, we'll see how it travels.
There are half a dozen bog holes between them and home. All they need is a sudden downpour, and Nick and Joe could be stranded.
There's a couple of big storms out there. There's one out here, there's one there, there's one here. They're all, and they can all be rain bearing, so it's pretty well all in the direction that we're heading, just on the other side of Columbaroo.
They build up that bloody quick, And then, yeah, everything turns to shit then. From a dry road comes a very slippery road. Because we've had a fair bit of rain already, you know, the country, it's actually pretty damn actually. But we'll see how we go. We might make it, we might not.
Hard, dry roads are a problem too. The bumps shaking the fragile 70-year-old plane around.
It seems to be travelling all right so far, but mind you, I've only done like 7k. That piece is slowly ripping off. So far, so good. Crocodile, and I hope it's not deep because we're going to give it a lap. Through that one bog hole out the road and done.
But next, the killer.
We're a bog hole just up here, and I'm hopefully we'll either see if we can pick a track around it or just leg it straight through it. Well, we got stuck in this one the other day.
It's the place where it all came undone when they tried to plough through a few days ago.
Dirty bastard.
They were stuck for hours.
Great way to wreck a day. Still think we should go around this bog hole. We were so stuck in it the other day. And even though we've had a few days of sort of fairly sunny weather to dry out, it's pretty soft.
Hang on, dear. I'm going straight through the middle. What are you worrying about, dear? Absolutely nothing. See?
Nick and Joe have beaten the bog that sunk them last time.
You happy with that, dear?
Next up, the Carson River. Fearsome in full flow, but not today.
Well, Castle's just trickling.
It's a good sign, but just up ahead, this isn't.
I'd like to go straight through here, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able because it certainly looks a little bit boggy.
A track around the bog is too close to trees.
And that plane probably won't fit under there either.
Nick scouts an alternative route. He's looking for drier ground, but the path is untried.
I could probably sneak around through here, I think.
He has little choice but to risk the detour.
There's enough room in here. I should be able to sneak a triple around through there, I think. If I'm wrong, I'll sink to the arse.
Setting off into virgin scrub.
Hope it's not wet.
It's a gamble, a path barely suitable for a four-wheel drive.
Yeah, we'll do a bit of scrub bashing through here.
Nick's trying to get a 50-metre, 42-wheeler road train through.
But I've just got 3 trailers on. It's not really designed for 3 trailers through this track.
The ground looks firm enough, but under the weight of 50 tonnes, it could be a very different story.
Being 3 light, we've got to get out so wide off this little 2-wheel track anyway, and, you know, we could just sink to the arse in one of these little low pockets here, but so far so good. We've only got like 100, 200 yards to go. It's more than halfway through.
Bloody beautiful. That just saved a couple of hours mucking around to unhooking and hooking back up. We're safely back on the road now. Just got to get around this bloody bend here. I don't know what everybody's worrying about. Bloody hell. Rightio, we're on a home run now. 1 bog hole. Another couple to go and we're done. Last little obstacle for the day, this jumper. We just got to unhook here. We never get up it, so I won't even try to get up. I just can't get enough bloody pace up to fly up there. Oh, I've got a plane on the back. I could fly up there. Oh.
Before the hill, it's a chance to see if the bomber has survived through all the turbulence.
No, it finally broke off that bit of tin. I think a lot more is going to be snapped by the time we get there, I think.
Everything needs to be battened down for the hill climb ahead. One trailer at a time.
Occasionally you can get stuck even with one on.
Nick needs to keep his momentum up.
Bumpy at the top and you lose traction really easy on the rocks.
He's fighting this hill.
Not the smoothest of bloody hills, this. Come on, old girl. Come warplane, baby. That's getting bad. Bloody rocky as all hell. No good for my drive tyres.
He's losing the battle.
Dirty mongrel thing. Didn't think I was going to get up there for a minute. He made it.
We should pull up with Tour right now. Just getting that first heavy one over, that was probably would have been what pulled us up.
Right. Radio.
Time for round 2. The trailers with the precious plane. Even a lighter load is a struggle.
It's a mongrel little hill, that one.
The rough ride up the hill could have damaged Nick's drive tyres.
They can rip in a bit. Just rip big chunks off the bloody tyres. And try to be careful, but sometimes it just doesn't happen.
The last chore of the day now is just to try and get to somewhere to have a camp and a wash before it gets completely dark.
Well, we'll just go to this little creek up the road. It'll probably be dark by the time we get there anyway. We'll pull up there.
Nick and Joe will be camping out for their 8th night in a row. They're still 2 days away from home.
Sun's just about gone.
Next morning, it's weather that has Nick worried.
Very funny weather, and it's humid this morning. And it's pretty heavy cloud too.
They still have more than 300 kilometres of dirt road to travel.
She's bloody rolling in. I think the Monsoon is getting closer.
It's like 10 to 7 in the morning and already it's pretty solidly overcast the whole way around.
If it rains, there'll be water hazards all the way.
There could easily be 100 or more small creek crossings, probably more, just floodways and little gutters and streams and rivers. Every one of them is impassable and cuts you off. You know, it only takes a couple of inches of rain. And yeah, and once the rain sets in, that's it. They're up and they'll stay up for the next 4 months or so. We've been trapped like several times where we've had to leave the truck and we've had to walk to the nearest station and then go back for stores and stuff.
Starting to turn the shit now. This is where this plane and bloody shit will give us drama on these corrugations through here. Because this part of the road is horrid for corrugations. Because this plane won't handle rattling over them corrugations for too long. It'll just rattle to bits. So that'll be the big challenge, trying to keep it all in one piece.
The plane is so delicate, it's been sitting for 73 years in the long grass, getting burnt and corroded, and it's weakened obviously in a huge amount compared to what it had been, so this will really test it out.
It's going to be very, very slow. Idle speed, I reckon.
We've got to drive along at 12k an hour for 2 days. Well, that's what we can do to try and make it travel as best it can, our contribution.
It's going to make it a long day.
It means constant stops to check on the condition of the old war warrior.
See what sort of damage we've done on these bloody corrugations. It's doing a lot of rattling around on there. Oh, little bits and pieces are starting to shake off. Vibrating, all these rivets starting to pop out. Look. Part of the plane. That's what I mean, look, just bloody constantly rattling around, just shears it off. No, it's not exactly all structurally bloody thing in one piece where you can actually strap it down tight, so we're doing the best we can.
Wouldn't be the first time that 60 kilometres has taken me 6 or 7 hours to do, so.
Very, very slow.
Back on the move, there's a new menace holding them up. wild cattle with no road sense.
They're just funny sometimes, the way these ones, they just belt along the side of the truck and you're like, you got, 50 million acres, just, chuck a right and go anywhere, and they don't, they just sort of hang and follow you on the road or something.
Beautiful looking specimen of a bull. I'm trying to wheel his out.
Oh, I just decided to run in front of the truck, and yeah, it's the way cattle behave sometimes.
And it's not just cattle slowing them up.
Water monitor, he's not bloody in a rush. And we have a beautiful specimen of a short-horn cow. Might be a short-horn if it runs in front of me.
They're at the end of an exhausting 10-day trip to the top end of Western Australia.
Just trying to get to camp up here on this river before it gets completely pitch black. Bush turkey.
Don't you dare, you windscreen breaker. Quick, grab by the legs. Turkey for dinner.
In the morning, Nick has a surprise for Joe.
Oh, it's good that you had a shave this morning. It was getting a bit feral.
I'm getting a little old.
You are old. Oh, I'm kidding.
The grey hairs are stress getting to me off this road. And we're going in town. Got to look nice and neat and tidy.
Because we're so presentable.
They're hoping today's the day they get the B-25 bomber safely back to their base at Kununurra.
So far, so good anyway.
But there's plenty of trailer trashing dirt road in front of them.
And back to Corrugate, the road's pretty rough from here. Basically to the bitumen, it's pretty bloody horrid. Corrugations, I'm a bit worried about this plane on here because the pot rivets are starting to pop out the side. A couple of little pieces have broke off. I'm going to suck every last breath out of everything we've got. This is the sort of stuff that'll just shake that plane a bit at this speed. Oh, rough. Real rough.
On a grueling hilly section, Nick notices a problem.
Well, when I put my foot on the brake, the air starts hissing out of the valve, the red valve there, because that's the air supply. You're losing air pressure, and as soon as you lose air pressure in a prime mover and trailers, you've got breakaway brakes on, so as soon as the air pressure goes down, your brakes will automatically come on. It's not a good thing if you're like halfway up a hill and you're bloody losing all your air, your brakes will just pull you up. And that's something you don't want all going down. It must have a tiny little pinhole in it. And I've got one big jump up. Down, I've got to actually go down. It's about 3-4 kilometres long. So yeah, and when you've got your foot on the brake for a long period of time, the air pressure starts dropping down, the brakes will come on. And that's something I don't want, otherwise I'll be halfway down the jump up and pull up.
Nick needs to pull up and see how bad the problem is.
Rightio, I'm going to replace that booster, or that diaphragm, providing I've got a spare one. I'm pretty sure I've got a spare one here.
He's sure the culprit will be a punctured rubber diaphragm.
That's what I wanted.
Out here, it pays to always carry a spare.
Running repairs, and there's the one with the hole in it. That's just the dust and stuff that gets in them from just constantly rattling up this road. You've got to keep an eye on everything that's going on because things can go terribly wrong. If you don't keep on top of it. I need my brakes to actually hold me so I can unhook the trailer. And if I unhook the trailer on the jump up and my brakes aren't working, 2 trailers roll back downhill with a load of freight on. It makes me liable for the freight because with my stuff up. I'm happy with that. No air leaks, no nothing.
After nearly 2 weeks away, Nick and Joe are almost home.
We've only got 25 odd K of dirt to go, one more river crossing.
So yeah, it's a nice feeling to get here in one piece without too many bloody dramas or hiccups.
Then bitumen to the last 80K and happy.
It looks like the priceless war relic has survived the worst of it.
No more dust and no more rattles and really no more, you know, flat tyres, and that plane will travel super well, so.
We made it.
If it was easy, every man and his dog would be going up to Columbia and it wouldn't just be us, so.
And anybody that wants to give it a go is quite bloody welcome to. Heading back to town, heading back to Kununurra now.
From Kununurra, the plane will be put on another truck bound for Adelaide, 3,000 kilometres away.
Our little job's done. Our little plane's going to head off to its new home.
Days later, after a marathon journey, it arrives at Adelaide's Parafield Airport.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Met by the two men who organised its rescue.
What it's been through and how long it's been out in the weather, it's in surprisingly good nick.
Considering where it's come from and how far it's come, I'm really happy, I'm stoked.
It's a big moment for Peter and Ian. Their reward, thanks to Nick and Joe's hard work.
I'm a little bit embarrassed because I just thought, oh, no, they're never going to do it, but they did it all right, crikey. You know, this was just wasting away up there in remote Australia, and now it's here, and now it's got a future.
A piece of history preserved.
161, Mississippi Dream. There you go. 15 years I've been waiting for this.
Yeah. Oh, how lucky were we to get this.
Searing heat and rugged dirt roads. Only the toughest of truckers brave the brutal conditions of Queensland's Cape York Peninsula.
That's me. I love it. I love my truck. Who wouldn't want to drive one of these? It is an awesome piece of machinery.
After years of hard graft on remote cattle stations, Sharon Collins is no stranger to the harsh conditions of the outback.
I love coming through here because it's just a beautiful part of the world.
Sharon's been an outback trucker now for over a decade. She's a member of a select club. Female drivers make up just 2% of all the truckers in Australia.
Righto, I've found a job that I really love doing. Being a truck driver, yeah, it is a male-dominated industry. There's the odd few that feel intimidated by us coming into their area, but 99% of the blokes that I've dealt with are fantastic.
Sharon's loading up with urgent feed supplements for Coolatar Station, a massive 420,000-acre cattle property in far north Queensland's remote Cape York Peninsula.
This time of year is always a harsh time of year because it's so hot. Every animal struggles with the heat.
This year's drought has left the station struggling to feed their cattle.
We haven't had a lot of rain, so there's not a lot of feed around. So the more that we can take them and the more that they can sustain themselves on that, then, yeah, you get home and you feel a little sense of accomplishment.
Sharon's hauling a 24-tonne tanker of molasses,
First trailer loaded.
which provides vital protein, minerals and sugar for the hungry cattle. A second 12-metre-long trailer is carrying 22 tonnes of dry feed.
I love this trip. It's a good, fun trip on the dirt. We'll hit the Utan Road, which is pretty hilly, pretty windy, dips and dives. There's a fair bit of stress that goes involved in hill climbs.
It's not long before Sharon finds trouble on the road.
He's got his triangles out and he might be a little bit broken down. Make sure he's okay. Hey, buddy. What's going on?
The hill was a bit steep.
You want this one chucked over, or?
Yes.
Michael's just had a bit of drama. He's been too heavy to make it to the top of the hill. So he's split off his lead trailer and taken it up and come back and hooked onto his last two trailers. Good luck. I pull over for anyone. I don't care who it is. He looked like he was puffed out, and mate, I'm not going to drive past him and freaking wave. You're turning off onto the infamous Utan. Here it is, the dirt. The fun and games begin. This section of the road is quite rough. You've got to watch the big old boulders in the middle of the road. Oh, I thought I missed that. It's just hard work on the gear. You could buckle a rim if you hit it too hard, pop a tyre, especially if you do something out here. You don't always have the spares on supply. You just got to do what you got to do in the bush to get your job done, get your load delivered and get home again.
The rough conditions have been tough on the cargo and the truck.
I've got a bag that looks like he's moving, so I'll have to pull up and have a look. I can smell the diff.
The strong smell suggests the differential is close to overheating. It's a vital component of the truck's transmission.
And that's hot. Anyone want eggs for lunch? It is a hot day, so it's to be expected. But you shouldn't be able to smell it, and I can smell it, so it's not good.
With over 300 k's of punishing dirt to go and the temperature tipping 38 degrees, it's a problem that could cripple the truck. But for now, Sharon has to focus on a more immediate hazard.
Yeah, this is a fairly significant crossing. It's fairly steep and windy, so you can't hit it running.
Outback cattle stations are so big, they're mostly unfenced, leaving cattle to roam free.
Mate, we've got to be careful of those because they are what do big damage to the truck if we hit something like that. Thanks, old girl.
Sharon's missed the cattle, but she's also missed a gear.
I don't want to get stuck coming up there. Not by myself, not with road trainer. As you can see, straight into bogged to get out.
In bogged, the truck's lowest gear,
Come on.
the 1,000 horsepower road train claws back momentum.
And we're out. I don't like using bogged because it means you've missed a gear.
Sharon passes the Utan Road's first real test.
We've got a couple of hours of dirt left. We're pulling hard and it's rough as guts. The diff is still a little bit hot, so we might have to slow down a little bit again.
If Sharon pushes too hard, an overheated diff could cause catastrophic damage and disable the truck hundreds of kilometres from the nearest help.
This is the Lind River crossing.
This narrow causeway over the dried-up riverbed is only centimetres wider than her truck and ends with an incline.
You don't want to fall off the side.
Sharon has to attack it at speed to make sure she gets up the other side safely.
If you haven't got a bit of pace up, it will drag you back in. Sometimes it's not good to look in the mirrors, just keep going and go for it. Lug it, come on. We did that one a little bit better, we got out without bogged. Excellent.
Between Sharon and her destination, there's one last challenge.
Wow, this is just bull dust. Throw my diff locks in and hope for the best.
The diff lock makes all Sharon's wheels turn at the same speed, increasing her traction.
Bull dust is like talcum powder. It's just very, very fine, but it's really slippery and you just got to pick a track. You can get dry bogged if you're not careful. You just got to make sure that you got enough pace up, but not too much that you're going to break stuff. I don't want to slow down too much because there's no one out here to pull us out. So we've got here, we've done quite well actually. Yeah, done really well.
As night falls, Sharon navigates the track onto the station, parking up, ready for unloading at dawn. At first light, Sharon checks the diff after it threatened to overheat on the previous day's long drive.
That could be the issue. Filter was a bit loose, so it's been dribbling a little bit. No, good. Happy with that.
Before the day heats up, Sharon empties the 24-tonne tank of molasses.
It's a nice time of the morning, eh? It's nice and cool. So molasses with rumensin and protein, which is a supplement that cattle seem to like.
Molasses is high in protein, minerals and sugar and provides valuable energy for the drought-stricken cattle. Each feed tub holds just under a tonne of molasses.
Hey, boo-boo. There's little babies popping up everywhere.
The molasses is a lifesaver.
You do it every week and you see the same little weaners. You come out here and they come racing up. Come on, my boys. You sort of want to take every one of them home because they're struggling out here. That's done. Molasses for the day is over. Next up, we will go and see the guys at the station and get them to unload the dry lick on the lead trailer. 50-minute wieners, one tub. Dude, spread out. Grab one each.
With the drought reducing the cattle's protein levels, the sacks of dry feed supplement, high in phosphorus, give them a much-needed boost.
We've found someone to unload the wet season lick, and that's it. That's the end of this load. Leaving Kalata and dropping into the Mitchell River. Old Skippy heading for a drink. Good croc country up here. There's plenty of crocodiles. There's no swimming in the water. Just have a look for crocs. Can't see any today, but I don't really want to see any because I'm going to stop and get out and just wash off the molasses and wash my signs. You generally won't see a croc if he's under the water. He'll be watching you. They sort of sneak up on you if you're not careful. Mate, you don't want to hang around. Can't see anything down there, but yeah, you're not sure if it's a fish or it's somebody watching you wanting to bite, so let's get out of here before we get eaten. The whirly winds are a good indication that it is starting to heat up. The thermals change and ground temperature, and they'll go hundreds of metres up in the air.
With her load fully delivered, Sharon's rig is lighter, but the Utan road is just as tough on the return as the journey to get here.
This is a section of road that's deteriorated really, really badly. So I call this the which ways, because it's whichever way you can go. There's bull dust everywhere, and I'm actually going to get off the road because that looks pretty deep out there. Like that'd be 3 foot of just solid bull dust, and you're quite likely to get bogged out there. There's no visibility whatsoever behind me, but I'm skidding around a fair bit. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Pick a spot, any spot. Go this way. I don't know. It's pretty bad, eh? That's it. We made it through. Whoa. It's a fair steep hill, but we're empty, so it's not too bad. Yeah, a little bit rough coming out of there, a bit of a bump, but all good. I love coming through here because it's just peaks climbing out of nowhere. Like you see that and you just go, wow, I want to climb that. My body's a little bit wrecked after smashing over the dirt for so long. 400 and something k's out west and 400 and something k's back east. So yeah, it'll be nice to unhook the trailers, have a nice hot shower and tootle off and see my little boys. These are my boys.
Sharon's made it home to her 2.5-acre outback property on the Atherton Tablelands in Queensland.
We've got Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie are really my best mates at the moment. They keep the grass down. I probably feed them too much, but that's just me being soft and making sure that they've got enough to keep them right while I'm away.
Mummy's got to go to work. Be good.